there's a change of scenery on DK and Gray today, and there's also a change of scenery at the top of the ladder. The Tigers head in on top, and they're 2 points clear of St Mary's. Gray Morris from NT News. It was an interesting round of footy once again.
Well, it was. The Tigers have gone back to the top, as you say. St Mary's have been beaten again, and of course Wanderers have come back from the clouds to beat the Buffaloes.
They have, and Adam Cook kicked a magnificent goal on the weekend. He got our DK and Gray play of the day. Let's check it out right now.
It is very different without the Buffaloes screaming in our ear.
Cook does very well. He got around the man on the mark and then he kicked from 50. Oh, what a start! Adam Cook! That is a sensational goal.
Big booming goal there from Adam Cook, and that was in the third quarter. In the last quarter, the Wanderers came home with a wet sail, Gray, and they put their name back on the winners list. Andrew Hodges, their coach, must be pretty happy at the moment.
Well, they were looking at their fourth successive loss, Wanderers, and it looked bad when they got 14 points down. The Buffaloes got the stampede going. But yes, to Wanderers' great credit, they bounced back and won by half a goal in the end, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, just the 3 points there, Gray, and obviously another crucial game. They take on Tiwi. Both of these sides are locked on 16 points and still outside the 5. So it's a really big game that could, I guess, change the face of the 5.
Well, yeah, it should be a beauty. The Tiwi Bombers not playing at their best, and Wanderers, of course, not at their best either. So it's a real test for this. We're almost at Christmas time, and only, as you say, 4 wins each. It's really time to start winning and start winning consistently.
So the Tiwi Bombers taking on Wanderers at 8 p.m. here on Super Saturday at TIO Stadium. Another big game that will be taking place on Sunday. Southern Districts taking on Waratah. Well, Districts, they were big winners on the weekend. They knocked over St Mary's.
They just keep winning, don't they? All the experts seem to think that they're not quite up to the standard of Nightcliff and St Mary's, and yet they just keep winning, as we found out with St Mary's. They plugged away. They kicked better for goal than St Mary's did. Won by 10 points. Their first win over St Mary's in quite a while, but certainly as far as playing the finals goes, a magnificent win for the Crocodiles.
Gray, Willie Farah and also Troy Taylor were reasonably good up forward.
Yep.
And Aaron Wosley-Black made a good return to NTFL football with Southern Districts.
A little bit of a surprise, wasn't it? There were rumours midweek that he may be going down Fred's pathway, and lo and behold, on Friday it was confirmed and he was into the side, much to Waratah's woes, but certainly the district boys very, very happy about it.
I wonder if they're going to bash him up on the weekend, Gray. They play Waratahs, and there'll be a bit of passion, I reckon.
Well, there'll be passion all round when the district want to keep winning. And of course, Waratahs, they're staring at their 10th loss in a row. You wouldn't have believed that after round 1.
Well, it's tough times for Waratahs, but they take on Southern Districts at Norbuild Oval on Sunday at 4 o'clock. Another big game, Gray, that's taking place is the AFL NTV match of the round. St Mary's and Nightcliff. The last time these two teams met, St Mary's magnificent run of wins came to a grinding halt, Gray, and Nightcliff really celebrated that one, and it'll be interesting to see how St Mary's bounce back from that.
Well, St Mary's, as you say, often bounce back very strongly from a loss, and they will get their captain back this week, Peter Noodles McFarlane, back after a long break with a leg break, of course, and his work commitments. But they've got to find something now, St Mary's. They were the pace setters for a year and a half, and it was only a matter of them being out on the ground and winning. But they've got to find a formula now, St Mary's, and they're up against a Nightcliff side that's roaring along. They have lost 2 games this season, of course, but very, very good around the ball, up forward and down back. So it's going to be very, very hard to beat the Tigers, and a lot of people already talking about this being a grand final preview.
Well, I feel like there's going to be a lot of passion in this game, and one man that's very passionate about his footy is Justin Ferret Wilson. I spoke to him during the week about the upcoming match. Justin Wilson, you're a very passionate player. Is any extra passion going into this match?
Well, for me it is. Obviously up against Damien Hale, my old coach, and Nightcliff. I've always had a bit of passion against Nightcliff over the last couple of years, and my first premiership was against Nightcliff. So there's a little bit, but they stitched us up in about round 4 or 5. So yeah, there is a little bit there, but obviously we want to win. We've dropped a couple, so yeah, we're looking forward to trying to get it back.
So you said they stitched you guys up. How do you think the side's been travelling recently?
It's been different. There's a few new faces. A few of our older faces have been out. But in saying that, it's a good thing for the club. Obviously, we're going to have to blood a few in the next couple of years. We're all getting a bit older. There's 5 or 6 of us that are around the 30 mark and a bit over. So it's been a good thing. We'll get a few back and we'll have a red hot crack at them on Saturday.
Well, the old ferret, Justin Wilson, with some interesting wording, and if we use his wording, Gray, Nightcliff stitched up Palmerston on the weekend, and now suddenly Palmerston have got another really important game to stay with the top 5. They take on Buffaloes, who are also close losers in the end, and these games just continue to be, I guess, very interesting for the complexion of the top 5.
Dave, it seems every week the games are getting more and more important, and certainly, as you said, both their sides coming off losses. Buffaloes are probably a bit upset they lost to Wanderers. Palmerston never really going to win that game. You always thought Nightcliff had that extra gear to move into when required, and of course it did that late in the last quarter. But yeah, a huge game for both sides. I mean, a loss here, and all of a sudden they're behind the 8 ball again.
And how do you see that one playing out? Buffaloes possibly without their coach this weekend, after both of these sides had some tribunal results that didn't go their way on the last weekend. How do you see Buffaloes responding from their first loss in over a month?
Well, you're right, they really have to come back strong. Anderson, of course, will be out. He'll miss anyway, regardless of whether he's found guilty at the tribunal or not, because his case won't be heard till next week, so he'll be a loss down back. Yeah, you're right, they've really got to find an extra gear, the Buffaloes. They're going along very nicely at, as you say, 4 wins in a row. And then they dropped that one to Wanderers last week. There'll be some questions being asked of the younger players too, your Eldridges and your Williams and your young Stakes, and these are the guys who've got to put their hands up as well.
Well, that game will kick things off on AFLN TV, a huge triple header on AFLN TV. Make sure that you get the link from facebook.com/AFLNT or youtube.com/AFL Northern Territory. A triple header, Buffs and Palmy, St Mary's and Nightcliff and Tiwi and Wanderers, all live on AFLN TV. But let's take a quick look at the ladder, Gray. We see here that Nightcliff are on top, as we mentioned earlier, and we can see that Buffaloes, Wanderers and the Tiwi Bombers all sit on 16 points, but Buffalo's in the 5 with the superior percentage.
Yes, that's right. Their point for and against works in their favour, and Wanderers, of course, with the win, their first win in a month last week as well. So it's getting very, very, very tight for that 4th and 5th spots.
Crucial games before Christmas. Another big weekend of footy. Round 11 action to kick off on AFLN TV from 3:10. Make sure you tune in, or make sure you come down to this magnificent ground for TIO Road Safety Round, and always wear your seatbelt to the game. But from us here at TIO today, Dave Kennedy and Gray Morris on DK and Gray, enjoy the footy this week.